Good afternoon. If I could firstly just say it's been fantastic to hear the views from the panels and the strong presentations that's been happening so far over the past couple of days. Thanks to Mining Journal for having us here for these past few days, and obviously thanks to Rick for hosting us so well. My name's Stuart Hume. I'm the Operations Director for Quatro over in South America. Ecuador's very much open for business. We're a company that's very optimistic about Ecuador. It's a wonderful country. It's a wonderful place to invest. It's fairly late to the industrial party over in South America. But due to that fact, only 8% of the country has been explored so far. We have an excellent mining law now. We have an excellent, stable government, new government. And we've recently had a capital outflow tax exemption and also an import tax exemption, which will obviously help to bring on the mining industry even further and obviously grow the economy more. So we've been there for a number of years now. 7 years we first went over to take over our first private placement. The people are great to work with. They're educated in the mining industry, as there's an extremely strong history in South America. They've been mining since the Incan days before the Spanish arrived. So it's a great place to invest, and that's been demonstrated pretty clearly by the likes of Lundin with the Fruta del Norte project, and now Lumina with the Cangrejos project. And at the moment they're developing really good modern mines with good production potential. And we're following firmly in their footsteps. So, briefly about Quatro Metales. We have an enterprise value of around $5 million, so we're a very junior explorer and developer, but we like to keep relevant in our sector in Ecuador. And I echo Martin's statements that yeah, that's where the value is that we see too. We're currently advancing 3 projects, all at different development stages, and we have in hand our first project that's been low-level producing for a number of years. Myself and our commercial director are heavily involved in the ownership of the company, and we have a number of significant high net worth individuals, family offices, and investment companies that have backed us over the past sort of 8 years, really. Based mainly in Europe, but also out in the Americas, in the Middle East, in Asia. Supported us very well, as I say, since the beginning of this company also, which was 2018. They share our vision for Ecuador and also, you know, our positivity for the region. So I'll start with the people. It's all about the people. This is the main management team. There's a mix of us in Europe and also in Ecuador. In Ecuador, apart from myself, the team are nearly all Ecuadorian. There's 95% Ecuadorians that we employ out on the mine itself. They form a great team. They cover everything from environment, geo, production, processing, social, and they run the operations really very well. ESG, of course, is part of our business, but as we're situated in a developing mining zone that's obviously been developed for time, it's probably not as critical in other more larger operations, which are slightly more rural. However, as a company, we are involved with education in the area and also a degree of conservation. Ecuador contains areas of outstanding natural beauty that we're in full support of keeping that way. So the message from us today is that we have 3 pretty significant projects. We think there could be 2 regional relevant projects of this type, 1 possibly country class. Gold copper porphyries leading to gold silver epithermal deposits, and also an iron gold ventilla system a bit higher up in the Cordillera. We're advancing these really well, and we'll be identifying our exploration targets shortly, especially up at Cerro Aguilar, where we'll be making new discoveries for the next few years, I think. So I'll run through the projects briefly. Pasha Vista, not far from Zaruma, El Oro. Really easy to travel to. You just fly from Quito to Santa Rosa. It's an hour on the plane. Drive a couple of hours west. It's all completely developed and supported by all sorts of infrastructure, larger mining companies. Lumina Gold is one of our neighbours. They're about an hour away from us. But there we have very well documented and highly mineralized area with significant epithermal and upper mesothermal veins with high-grade copper and silver deposits, and also obviously gold, and a number of now commercially viable rare earth minerals within our polymetallic vein systems. At Pasha Vista, we're at 1,200 meters. As I mentioned, it's a mining zone, therefore we have all the skills and consumables we need. No infrastructure is needed. It's a great place, we think, to develop a producing mine. Okay, so this is the Pasha Vista project. The numbered red areas is where we tested. So as you'll see, we have a number of different target areas to follow up on production. This is part of our resource area, which in total, at present, is around 250,000 ounces of gold equivalent. That's gold plus copper plus silver. And then surrounding a bit further out, we have a number of exploration targets that will bring that number on. Polymetallic gold, silver, copper means we can keep the gold cut-off extremely low, at under 0.5 gram a tonne. And the number of veins we have access to in Pasha Vista from our mine development gives us a really good tonnage forecast per quarter. So what's significant to QM as well, to Quatro Metallis, is what we've been doing up in Guayagazinga. This is the Sierra Aguilar project I mentioned earlier. That's what Cerro Aguilar looks like. It's a ventia feature with mineralization on the surface from our trenching and pre-examinations. And what we've discovered is that there's significant gold deposits from soil samples at 3,500 meters to 0.5 grams a ton of gold. So what that does offer to us is the opportunity for some early stage development, leading on to later stage PFS development, which could then bring us to a larger development in the surrounding area. Approximately 8,000, if I can go back, let's see if I can, I'll go forward. Oh. Yeah, approximately 8,000 hectares of available concession on the outside. So we believe that with just a moderate drill program could answer the questions that we've got in terms of the MRE for Cerro Aguilar. Thirdly, this is Hades Hydro. This is on the Rio Pindo. This is 1,700 hectares of untouched riverbed. There's a main river fed by 3 tributaries, leading from our main mining zone. There's a geological history from multiple testing that states that we could have more than 0.2 grams per tonne here, and our own geotesting suggests it's much more. So calculating to only 6 meters down, at that conservative grade, we've likely got a resource here of well over 50,000 ounces of 80% plus gold, with minimal SR that we could extract over a 5 to 10 year period, using yellow iron that, interestingly, we can produce with B20 biofuel standard, or more as the years go on, making the project a gold production project with a more sustainable method, and also with minimal sustaining costs. So what's ahead for us? So we've got the mineral resource, we've got some exploration and production targets. We'll be bringing Pasha Vista online next year, along with bringing online a number of more smaller, higher grade volume mines with good MREs in order to feed in our bulk processing plant and continue to lower our sustaining costs. So you can probably see where we're going with the bottom line, is that we're building up from a series of group 4 to 3 type opportunities to eventually between a 3 to 2 type tier opportunity as a corporation whole. So by definition, our goal will be greater than 50,000 ounces of gold equivalent per year, less than $500 all in sustaining costs, and for a minimum project life of 15 years. And that's a target we've set ourselves for the next 4 to 5 years. So plenty of opportunity for our region's reserves, which is still an important belt to Ecuador, which contains high-grade ore bodies and still represents a more significant development centre in the country. And further ahead, we're looking forward to drilling up at Cerro Aguilar, hitting more production and exploration targets at Pasha Vista in order to increase the resource and obviously increase our value. And of course, commencing with the alluvial production at Hades Hydro next year in order to set up a gold production facility with increased net zero compliancy. So yeah, I think we have a very exciting period ahead of us. And I encourage you to have a look at some of the material we're producing online and contact our commercial director, Paul Dunmore, for further information, or come and see us in the booth. We've got a booth upstairs also for a chat in the few hours we've got left. We'll be certainly happy to share more information about what we're planning and, more importantly, what we're doing. And yeah, thank you very much for your attention.